Radio Worldwide Sound. Talktainmentradio.com. We give you a reason to come. The world's greatest radio. We give you a reason to stay. Radio, the way it should be heard. You got the power.
The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guest and not necessarily those of TalkTainmentRadio.com, the management, the staff, or K&E World Network, LLC.
This is All in Our Family. I'm S. Yolanda Robinson. We are all family. All in Our Family, heard exclusively on TalkTainmentRadio.com. Radio, the way it should be heard. TalkTainmentRadio.com. We go where you go. And this is the world's greatest radio. And you're in touch with All in Our Family. And I'm S. Yolanda Robinson. And this is radio, the way it should be heard. We're on Facebook, audience. We are on Facebook, and you can reach us at facebook.com/talktainment. And we're also on YouTube. You can reach us at YouTube. Talktainment Radio, and call in at 1-877-932-9766. Oh my gosh, I want to give a shout out to the CATA School, which is the Columbus Arts and Technology Academy. We just Saturday did a program over there, and I'm telling you, I just fell in love with every last one of those children. They are awesome. They did with the drummers and the choir, and then some of Columbus, Ohio's best talent was performing along with them. Oh my gosh, Lisa Griffin. Oh gosh, whoo, Dorshell Williams. Oh my gosh, and Marion Osborne. Oh my gosh, it was just awesome. And Chuck Jordan, all of the people that came, and Dr. Kay Robinson. I mean, we had some good talent at that event, and I'm just still thinking about it. It was just really a wonderful, wonderful program. And I'd like to thank them for allowing both me and Kahari Inohara to be the narrator for the Christmas play. Forest and Trees, Linda Thomas was the playwright. Oh my gosh, and it was so funny. I really had a good time. And I also wanted to invite you out on Wednesday, if you're in Columbus, Ohio, on Wednesday, December the 13th. We're going to be at the Glenmont Recreation Center, and All in Our Family is sponsoring it with Forest and Trees and 100 Black Women Columbus. We're going to be giving out hats and gloves and possibly books to the children over there at the Recreation Center. And on December the 16th, join us for breakfast with the Flapjack Breakfast with 100 Black Women. We're going to have that at Applebee's on Bryce Road. And you're more than welcome to come and join us and celebrate Christmas. If you want to get some tickets are only $8, but it's going to be good fellowship and good sisterhood and brotherhood at the breakfast. So we'll probably have some light entertainment, but we just want to celebrate the season and, just rekindle old friendships. So if you want to join us, we're going to be there at, and All in Our Family is working with them to sponsor the program. It's going to be on December the 16th from 8 until 10 o'clock at the Applebee's on Bryce Road. So I would like to invite you out. So just give us a call if you need some tickets, and we will love to have you come and join us. You'll enjoy it. And on today's program, I'm telling you, I have coming on the program in a few minutes. She'll be calling in a few minutes. Diane Stone. And she has a hair business. Oh, my gosh, you should see the hair. It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, we're going to be talking about some of the styles when she gets on the line. And, oh, gosh, I was looking at some of them. I said, oh, I could wear this to this party. You know how we like to look different. You know, you could, at this occasion, I'm going to wear this hairstyle, and at this occasion, I'm going to wear that. So Diane is going to be on in a few minutes, and she's going to tell us about how you take care of your hair, and give us some tips on that also. And then later on, after in the show, we have Dr. Christmas, Yvonne LACEY. She will be telling us, you know, how we can take the Christmas back. You know, how you get all stressed out on Christmas. Well, you don't have to do that. You don't need to get stressed out and worry about getting everything done on Christmas. But she's going to tell us about that, and also about some Christmas traditions. You know, where did we get the mistletoe and, you know, the Christmas tree? What's the origin behind all those things that we do on Christmas, and why do we do those? And then the last person on our show is Phil DeLuca. Now, you know what? When he wrote to me and told me what he was talking about, because he's talking about when you're angry, you should be quiet. You should get away from the situation and think about it. And, you know, I've often thought about that, because a lot of therapists think that you need to talk things out and stuff. But he, to me, has a logical approach to what you should do when you're angry and why you should do it. So you need to stay tuned on this, on All in Our Family, on the second part, because it's very, very interesting. And we don't want you to get in any arguments and be angry at people. So he is a clinical LISW, which is a licensed clinical social worker. That's about the highest you can go in social work, you know, because you have your clinical degree and you have to take an exam and everything for that. So he's a licensed clinical social worker, and he said the reason why he found out about why you should be quiet is he was a guinea pig. I need to be a guinea pig, because you know something, when I get angry, I have to count my breath, because sometimes my mouth just goes do, 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 and then later I'm sorry. So I'm gonna have the untaught therapist Phil DeLuca to tell us what you're supposed to do when you get angry, and we all do it. I mean, I don't know anybody that has. And if you have not been angry for the past month, please write to me, email me, hit me up on Facebook, or tell me how you do it, because I want to know how do you do it, and it would really help. And we probably would bring you on All in Our Family, because it would really help our relationships. And so I'm really excited about some of the people that will be coming on to on the show this week. And also, if there is something that you want to talk about on All of Our Family, just let me know. I'm at S.Yolanda Robinson at gmail.com. That's S as in Sam, period, Yolanda, YOLANDA, Robinson, ROBINSON at gmail.com. Just let me know, and we will put it together. You know, I'll go out there and find that person, or bring a subject on, because I want us to strengthen our families and strengthen our relationships. And if we don't do that, you know, that's after listening to our shows and get some advice on how we can make our life better, then we don't even need to be here. Because I'm hoping that the things that we do on this show and the topics that we're talking about will actually help us to bring more peace and love into our environments. So let me hear from you. You know, let me hear from you if there's something that you don't like, because, you know, everything is sometimes it's not always good, but we will try to, you know, straighten it out and try to get it so that it's something that you really want, because this is your show and we want to put on some topics that you like. So but let me hear from you, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. That's S.Yolanda Robinson, YOLANDA at gmail.com. So, and we got another show coming up next. Our next show, guess what? There's a man out there that says there is no such thing as not being able to find a good mate. And he is telling us that we're doing some of the wrong things. So you need to let us know and listen to the show and let us know what you think about what he says. And he's going to be on our next show, and that's going to be aired live on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. You can call in at 1-877-932-9766, and you can also call in to this station on this show if there's any questions or any comments that you want to make at 877-932-9766. And I have a show coming up next year, probably at the beginning of the show. We're going to talk about, when children become parents. That is a difficult transition. And many people have gone through that. I know that we went through that in my family when my parents got sick, and it was really difficult when you become the parent and you have to take care of them. And so they're going to give you some very good advice. I wish I had that, and our whole family had that when my mother and father both got sick at the same time, because we were just going by trial and error, and everybody was stressed out. So we were going to be we're going to have that on our program around about the first of the year. And so, like I said, if there's anything that you want to have on the program, or if you'd like to come on, if you're an author, or you've had an success raising your children, or a success being a caregiver, anything about family life, financial, raising with your financial affairs, if you've had some success with that, please get in touch with us and let us know about the getting the program. About what program you want to do. So that would be very, very good if you did that. And I also wanted to talk to you about getting your children ready for the SET and some of the exams. So we'll be talking about that coming up on All in Our Family. But we have a caller. I think this is Diane on the line. Oh, Diane, how are you?
Hi, I'm great.
Oh, my gosh, it's good to hear from you.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh, thank you for being on the show. Now, Diane, I'm so impressed with you when I saw who you were and that you are owner of a hair business. Could you tell us why did you get into the hair business, and how long have you been there, and a little bit about your company?
Okay. Well, for those of you who are just now chiming in, my name is Diane Stone, and I am the founder and CEO of the Dynasty Goddess Hair Company, which I started about 5 years ago, mainly because I wanted to provide women and hairstylists with beautiful and high-quality hair extensions at an affordable price point. So pretty much no matter how big or small your budget is, we still pretty much have something for the everyday woman.
Now, what's the price range of some of your hair?
Well, it really depends on the hair type, the texture, and the length you're looking for. Mm-hmm. We offer single bundles for as low as $55. Mm-hmm. We also have three-pack bundle deals for as low as $155. Mm-hmm. And we even have lace front wigs for as low as $230. So it really just depends on the look and the style that you're going for, which will determine how much the total will end up being.
Oh, I see. Now, how long can you keep them when you buy the hair? I mean, how long can you keep them?
Well, with virgin hair, it can last you from anywhere to a year up to 3 years, but you have to make sure that you're taking care of it. Okay. What I tell my clients, the biggest thing when it comes to virgin hair is to make sure you're taking care of it like you would take care of your very own hair. Mm-hmm. So that really means that you need to keep it moisturized and keep it washed and conditioned.
Oh, okay. And what distinguishes Dynasty Goddess from the other companies that are out there?
You want to know, this is a question that I actually love answering because it gives me a chance to kind of toot my own horn about my company. Okay. Not to sound big-headed or cocky or anything, but what separates Dynasty Goddess from other hair companies is that we have a 45-day money-back guarantee policy, And we implemented that because we genuinely cared about about our customer satisfaction. Mm-hmm. So in addition to that, we also have fast, friendly, and reliable customer service. Mm-hmm. And unlike most hair extension companies, we are American-owned and family-operated, mm-hmm. and we do have our very own factory, so we're able to source our own hair and really have full control over the quality of our product.
Wow. And this is an African-American business, right?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations. I mean, normally there's been a lot of people that said that there was very few African Americans that are in the hair business, and we spend a lot of money on hair. A lot.
Yes. That's very true. It's kind of crazy that mm-hmm. that we are one of the largest groups that spend the most amount of money on hair care and hair care products, mm-hmm. but it's very few of us that's actually in the business and actually own, a stake in the hair extensions industry is really kind of wild to me.
And to own the factory too. That's different. That's different from a person that normally owns the hair business. That you own the factory also. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes, ma'am. We have a factory out in Thailand. Uh-huh. And like I said, we get a chance to really source our hair, and it gives us full control over the quality of our products. So, we don't have to, have a middleman. We're able to really just be hands-on with the products that we're giving out.
Mm. Now, do you have a discount for hairdressers?
We actually do have a discount. We not only have a discount for hairstylists, mm-hmm. we have a full program and partnership that's dedicated specifically towards hairstylists. And with the partnership, they can really take advantage of our wholesale pricing, mm-hmm. or they can become a brand ambassador and take advantage of the discounted rates that we have in place for them.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That is so good. Now, I understand that you give away free hair every month, Diane. I'm signing up. You give away free hair every month. Is that correct?
Well, not exactly every month. Uh-huh. We have about 2 to 3 really large giveaways every year. Uh-huh. So we actually have a giveaway coming up in the month of February, which is our Sweethearts giveaway, which is actually one of our biggest giveaways.
Oh, I see. That is wonderful. So how do you get into the giveaway? You put your name on the giveaway.
All you have to do to enter to win is to basically follow us on our social media outlets, share a Dynasty Goddess post, and just tag a few friends.
Okay. Okay, just tag a few fans. I want people to see some of your hair, and we're just going to briefly look at those, if we can, and if you could comment on them. These are some of the styles for. These are some of the styles for the Christmas holidays. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you can comment.
Okay, so I think I sent you about three of my top holiday styles for this season. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can't put them up. Okay, I thought we would be able to put them up on the screen. But you have some on our webpage on the flip ad.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. We have on the flip ad, I believe we have just a really nice curly look. I know that a lot of people are really into the bigger hair right now. So one of our hair extensions that I'm really loving right now is the Malaysian deep curl, because it gives you that really big, big hair with a lot of volume. So I think that's a really good hairstyle to have right now, especially for like holiday parties and holiday events.
You know what? I like that halo crown.
I do.
With
I
the
really
braid.
love the,
I said, "Oh, that's so sophisticated." So I
yes,
really like that.
I love that look. I know I said I planned on doing that look for one of my holiday events this year because I think it's so cute and it's so festive, and to me it just screams like Happy Holidays.
It does, and it makes you just look so elegant. I just love that style. It's really nice. It's very, very nice style. Now, how can people get in contact with you?
Okay, people can get in contact with us by visiting our website, which is www.dynastygoddess.com. You guys can also call us on the phone at 1-800-285-6210. And our hours of operation are Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
All right.
And you guys can also follow us on our Instagram page, which is Dynasty Goddess Hair, or our Facebook page at Dynasty Goddess Virgin Hair.
All right. Thank you, Diane, for being on this week's show of All in Our Family. And she's going to be back on our next show that we'll be doing next week on Tuesday, talking more about hairstyles that you can wear during the holidays. But I'd like to thank you for being on this week's show of All in Our Family. Thank you so much. You've been listening. Okay,
thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to being back next week, and I can come back at any point in time you'll have me.
Okay, we certainly will. We'll be bringing you back. But you've been listening to TalkTainmentRadio.com. This is a 24/7, no-charge, worldwide broadcast facility, which hosts various topics such as news, lifestyle, sports, law, health, wellness, religion, politics. And here's one of the shows that I'd like to share with you. You need to tune to Tanya Karen's The Wellness Spot on Mondays at 6 p.m. Now, Tanya has a lot of good advice about being healthy. So if you have a New Year's resolution about being healthy, you need to listen to Tanya, because she'll help you change your entire lifestyle. I'm in the program myself, and it's just awesome. It is just awesome. And you can go to TalkTainmentRadio.com and click on programs that says TalkTainmentRadio.com, and this is radio the way it should be heard. And our next part of the program, we have Dr. Christmas, and her name is really YVONNE Lacey. She's on the line. Hi, YVONNE.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Now, everybody calls you Dr. Christmas. Now, is it Dr. Christmas or Mrs. Christmas?
Well, it's Dr. Christmas, and the RX, because I spell it that way, DRXMAS. The RX is your prescription for the holidays. That's where that comes from.
That is so unique. Now, what is a prescription for the holidays,
the prescription is that this time of year people get really stressed out. You know that. There's too much to do, things going on, and sometimes before you know it, the holidays are over and we never enjoyed them. So the whole concept is really to come in and give you a holistic prescription for stepping back and really enjoying your holidays, taking ownership of them rather than letting them get away from you.
And I'm so glad you're doing it, because it's not supposed to be a holiday season where you're stressed and tired. Right. So what do you prescribe? What do you prescribe for us to do?
I prescribe, I just wrote a new book. It came out in November, and it's called Taking Back Your Holidays, A Whimsical Guide to a Lighter, Brighter Christmas. And the whole idea is to making sure that you have a lighter, brighter Christmas and you don't get stressed out about all the things that you have to do, because really I like to say there's no Christmas police. You get in trouble if you don't do everything that you're supposed to do, or all the things that you think you're supposed to do. So the whole idea is to really step back and to enjoy and communicate with those that you celebrate the holiday with, and make sure that you're all taking ownership of the things that you want to do to make it a great Christmas, rather than one person trying to do it all, because it's just not possible. It's just not. I mean, right? I mean, we all tend to think there's all of these things that we need to do, whether it's the meal, the Christmas tree, the presents, the parties, right? All of it. And I've had friends that start rolling their eyes going, oh, it's that time again. It's Christmas. I really want to fast forward. And that makes me so sad, because people really don't enjoy what the holidays are and what they're meant to be, right? Being surrounded by friends and family, really owning the true meaning of Christmas and celebrating it, whether it's spiritually, however you like to celebrate in your household, and really enjoying the true meaning of Christmas along with charity.
Oh, that sounds really good. It sounds like that's a better approach to Christmas. Now, what can you tell us? You said something, when I was talking to you, or I read it. What is the origin of some of these traditions? Mistletoe.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because many times we do traditions and we really don't know why we do them. Right? We might hang some mistletoe, and we know that maybe we are supposed to kiss under it, but we don't know where that comes from. We hang wreaths on doors, and we don't really know where those come from. So, or why we call it Black Friday. So to me, it was really fun to go and research all of these things that a lot of people sort of did, but scratched their head and didn't really know what they meant. Much like hanging the wreath. Yeah. And a lot of these are based on, some are spiritual, some are religious traditions, some are even pagan traditions, or really just come from, a long winter and having something that lasts through the winter that's greenery, like holly does, or like what wreaths are usually made out of, whether it's the Christmas tree that you have evergreen. Bringing those green items into the home really assured those that there was going to be fruits for their labors, right? You labor all summer and all into the fall, and then comes winter, you have to store everything, and there's not a whole lot left to either eat or forage for. So it's all about how good you were preparing for those winter months. And those symbols of greenery were really to show that you're going to be fruitful again. You're going to have a harvest again, and that things were going to break in the spring, and to have those food, basically. So that's really where a lot of these traditions come from in representing greenery around the holidays.
Oh, I see. Now, where do the gifts come from?
Well, the gift giving is very interesting because many of those talk about that going with, of course, giving the gift to Jesus Christ, right?
Yes,
when Jesus was born, and the three wise men give the gift. But what they don't realize is that usually happened during the Feast of the Epiphany. And you'll hear that thrown around, the Feast of the Epiphany. Well, what happened is really the three wise men, when they saw the North Star, started out towards that, right? Going towards the Savior, moving towards Jesus Christ. And it took a while to get there. Unlike, I like to tease that we didn't have Amazon Prime in those days. They couldn't get the gifts there overnight, right? They had to walk. And by the time they got there, it was that many days later. So 12 days later, which really is the Feast of the Epiphany, or the 12 days of Christmas that happen after Christmas, not before. So some people think of it as the countdown to Christmas, which is really Advent, and not the other way. So we can really extend the holidays a bit. So people get sad on the 26th. It's like, no, you've got 12 more days.
And then you can catch the real sales.
Exactly, right?
Because that's when the sales come on after Christmas.
That's right.
I'll say I'm celebrating the real Christmas. You just have to wait 12 days.
Well, that's really smart. That's good for your budget, too.
My youngest brother used to say, I don't understand why we have to give gifts. It's Jesus' birthday. We should be give him the gift.
Right. Why are we getting up when it's Jesus' birthday and we should be giving something to him?
That's what he used to tell us every Christmas. He said, I don't understand that.
Well, you can share with us that in the Lord's eyes, or in the religious belief that, of course, we all come from give each other gifts in order to represent and honor God's work.
Yes.
So that's really where the gifts come from.
That's where the gifts come from. Now tell us about your book and how we can get it. I mean, this is going to give you some real unique ideas, different ideas about the real meaning of Christmas and how to celebrate Christmas.
You're right. That's really what it's about. It's about owning your holiday again. The book is called Taking...
Yes.
It's a whimsical guide to a lighter, brighter Christmas, and it has everything in there from holiday history as to why we do kiss under mistletoe and where Santa Claus came from and why do we look at a Yule log every year, all of those fun things, along with tips and tricks of how to make the holidays easier and brighter and lighter. It's available on Amazon, so you can just type in Taking Back Your Holidays at Amazon.com, and it's available in hardcover to yourself and friends. So it's also available at BarnesandNoble.com.
All right. Well, that sounds like good. I'd like to thank you for sharing all that good information. So people out there, don't get stressed out. You know, get Yvonne's book and try some of it so you won't be stressed out. Take it back, right?
That's right. I'd love to hear if you get the book and you read it and you have holiday ideas yourself that you like to share, or something that's special that you do in your home or with your family and friends. You can always reach me on my website at drchristmas.com. And again, that's drxmas.com.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you for being on this week's program of All in Our Family. Thank you for being on, and happy holidays to you, Yvonne.
Thank you, and happy holidays to you. Thanks for having me.
You can hear live on our website. You can hear us live on our website at talktainmentradio.com. To watch the live broadcast of All in Our Family, go to YouTube and type in the word Talktainment. Hit the space bar and then type the word radio and scroll down to Talktainment 2 live on YouTube and watch the live broadcast. Then check us out for the replay on Talktainment 2 live on YouTube and Facebook.com Talktainment. And like us and subscribe. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we're going to talk about when you're angry, don't talk, don't communicate. Coming up next on TalkTainmentRadio.com.
Girl, you got this. Dynasty Goddess virgin hair. Watch them stop and stare. Soft, luxurious hair. Dynasty Goddess virgin hair. Stop paying for overpriced virgin hair. Introducing Dynasty Goddess hair. Soft, luxurious, high-quality hair at affordable prices. Visit dynastygoddess.com or call 800-285-6210. Dynasty Goddess hair.
Are you ready for a high school that allows you to work at a pace that is right for you? Are you ready to earn certification in healthcare, business, or manufacturing while achieving your high school diploma? Then you're ready for Life Skills High School, a free public option for Ohio students 16 to 21 years old. Learn more about your free high school educational options at lifeskillshs.org or call them at 1-800-888-7992. That's 1-800-888-7992. Life Skills High School, education that fits your life.
Queen's Legacy of Love 12 brand launch and grand opening. Currently looking for hosts, photographers, models, dancers, entertainers, ushers, comedians, production managers, model coordinators, stage crew, vendors, volunteers, sponsors, public relations and media personnel, and extras. Contact ggoldqqueen22@yahoo.com. Queens of Queens.
Pastor Clifford Riley and the congregation at Mount Gerizim Missionary Baptist Church cordially invite you to worship with us. Yes, come to the Mountain of Blessings for a spirited, love-filled experience. Our Sunday services and twice on Wednesday Bible study will change your life. We are located at 2633 Mock Road, and our phone number is 614-475-9712. Again, 2633 Mock Road, or call 614-475-9712.
If you or a woman you know is abusing drugs and or alcohol and you want to stop the abuse, contact APDS at 1409 East Livingston Avenue. Office hours are 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. APDS is certified by the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services and primarily funded through the Adam H. Board. Fees are based on your income and Medicaid is always accepted. For more information, call 614-253-4448.
For the best home fragrance and beauty products, shop Ash Kickin' online.
That's ASHKICKIN.
Made with 100% natural quality ingredients and handcrafted with your family in mind, Ash Kickin' products are better than those other guys. Ash Kickin' candles, incense, body butter, face moisturizer, and hair moisturizer are priced just right, and you can get yours at 10% off with coupon code TALK17. Support this 100% black-owned business and get your home and body smelling and feeling all right.
That's ASHKICKIN. Shop Ash Kickin' online at www.ashkickin.com.
Live call-in talk show. Dial 1-877-932-9766 and join the conversation here on TalkTimitRadio.com.
We must build and bond our family.
We've got the power.
TalkTainmentRadio.com. We go where you go, and this is the world's greatest radio. You can download Talktainment Radio to your app, to your cell or tablet. This is radio the way it should be heard. And you're listening to All in Our Family, and I am Yolanda Robinson. You can call in all your questions or comments to 1-877-932-9766. We have on this part of the show, we're going to have Phil DeLuca, and he's going to be calling in, and he's going to talk about when he's on the line. I just heard that he was on the line. That's good. Hello, Phil.
Hello, Yolanda. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I was reading some of your work about not talking when you're angry.
Yeah.
Why did you should have shared that a long time ago. Because sometimes we say things that we're not supposed to say when we're angry, and then we feel sorry about it later. But what made you do that? And could you give us a little background on who you are?
Sure. Phil DeLuca, I've been doing, I'm a psychotherapist, clinical social worker, licensed clinical social worker, and I've been doing this for 40 years, and I've seen about 40,000 situations, couples, relationship issues. So basically what started it was when I got out of graduate school in 77, I noticed the express yourself communication approaches. Now, let me know if this sounds familiar, because they came real popular right around that time. Always get in touch with your anger. Repressed anger is really bad. Always be honest and open about how you feel. No secrets. And never run. Always deal with the problem now. Otherwise, never go to bed mad at each other, or you're running from the problem. Does that sound familiar?
All those sound familiar, Phil. Now you and you took a totally different approach. Why did you do it?
Well, one of the things I noticed was when I was starting to use that with couples, they were coming in, it was generating more, not less conflict. And the same thing was happening in my life. So I was like, there's something wrong here. Either they're right and I'm wrong, or I'm right and they're all wrong. The other thing that happened was a few years after that, I started having health problems. And so I started looking at I started developing premature memory loss and rheumatoid arthritis. And so I started looking at alternative health solutions. And what I discovered, the science behind autoimmune diseases, it's the inflammation of the body, is the same mechanism that occurs when we get upset. The body's inflamed. The mind, the body, the stomach, the heart. So it's an inflammation process. So what happens was, I cured my arthritis and memory loss, and at the same time, I developed an alternative approach to resolving communication problems, because one of the things I noticed with couples was that the conventional express yourself communication problems were pushing people into what I call the dead zone. That's where there's no caring left, so why bother fixing it? And so what I noticed was people coming in were maybe one conflict away from that zone. And I was like, I had to develop something that would stop the conflict right now, not next week, not an hour from now, but right now, because the next argument could be the thing where they say, hey, I've had enough, I'm out of here. So that's what I did. I came up with an alternative that's science-based, works, it's quick to grasp, easy to explain, gets immediate results, and I call it communication of the 21st century.
Okay. Phil, walk me through this, okay? I get angry. Okay. I'm angry at somebody.
Yes.
Okay. I would really want to express myself because they made me angry. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now, what am I supposed to do when I get so mad that I want to say, hey, you dirty, something, and all that? You know, what am I supposed to do when that happens?
Well, let me give you a little background. What's happening is the fight or flight response is kicking in. So we've got two parts of our brain that we want to focus on. One is our thinking brain in the front of our head. If you put your hand on your forehead, that's where our cerebral cortex is, our thinking brain. Higher learning, language skills, love, spirituality, music. And then we have behind our ears, we have the fight or flight response, the amygdala. Also, I call it the crocodile reptilian brain. That's where it's dark, bleak, doom, and gloom. Well, what happens is when we get upset, the blood starts rerouting from the front thinking part of our brain to the back primitive side of our brain. Wow. As a matter of fact, it reroutes up to 75%. So we only have 25% blood flow in the front.
Wow.
That's you ever notice when somebody's calm and they get upset, it's like an alien enters into their body and they're a whole other creature? Have you noticed that?
Yeah. You said, I didn't realize that person had all that in them.
and then they get calmer. They might laugh about something, and the alien leaves, and they're back to their person. And then a little later in the day, they might get upset about something, and the alien's back.
Yeah.
You know, everything changes. Their tone, their mood, their body gestures, their looks. They give you the evil eye.
Yeah.
What happens is that's the two parts of the brain kicking in. When we're our normal self, calm, it's the front brain, loving, caring, logical, cooperative, conflict resolving, seeking conflict resolving. And then when we're upset, the other part, the alien comes over, that back, bleak, paranoid, dark, suspicious brain comes over. And both of these brains are connected through the autonomic nervous system to 90% of our organs, heart, liver, skin, you name it. And that's why our whole body gestures get hostile when we're upset and then calm down when we're not upset. Because the fight or flight response, the alternative, the front part of the brain is called the rest and digest. That's why, for instance, when we're upset, we breathe heavy because our body is getting ready to fight like a raptor's about to eat them. So they're either going to fight them or run. Well, after the threat has passed, or perceived threat, that's why our breathing and heart rate and blood pressure slows down, and we can feel it because the front part of the brain says, hey, calm down. There's no, you're not threatened. Nobody's going to eat you. You're not going to become a meal. So we calm down. That's the two parts of the brain. And if you ever had an internal dialogue going on in your head, come on, get upset. Yeah, don't take this. The other part saying, calm down, don't get upset. This is going to have real bad consequences. Yeah, no. That's the two parts of the brain actually talking to each other. And then, as you keep getting upset and the blood keeps getting rerouted, they have what's called crocodile brain hijack, where the back brain takes over. And when people get there, they know it because then they say things like, it's like I can see words coming out of my mouth, but I can't do anything about them. It's like a film of my life is in front of me, and I'm a helpless observer. Have you ever gotten to that place where you've been that upset that you can't control what you're saying and doing, and you just see your life unfolding in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it?
You feel like there's nothing you can do about it.
That's right. Yeah. And that's called crocodile brain hijack. So when that takes over, we're in a different place. That alien has taken over with us. It changes our mood from light to dark. Our attitude gets provocative. We're conflict-seeking, not conflict-resolving. We want conflict because this brain was made for conflict. It needs conflict back. We get, our thoughts get all scrambled. So the worst thing people can possibly do is talk when they're in this state, because what we do is, unknown and unaware to us, we end up provoking an argument. Everything they say, we twist, distort, we manipulate, we glare at them, we bring up old, irrelevant topics, we get loud, we get in their face, we bring up toxic words. And then, of course, after the whole incident passes, then you have to recover. You have to pay the cost. That's when blood reroutes to the front part of our brain, and we feel guilty, shame. We also have relationship costs. Communication's all messed up. Sex becomes a battleground, a ritual, a non-existence. Caring drops, and enjoyment drops. You don't like them as much after one of these encounters as much as you did before. You don't like their company, and you don't like them as much. So you have to pay personal costs, you have relationship costs, and then you have health costs. This express yourself is very destructive to the body when you get in touch with this anger and you vomit it out. Research shows that, for instance, episodic anger outbursts for 2 hours after you release that anger raises your heart attack and stroke rate 500%. And over time, if you're stuck in this chronic conflict situation, it raises your cancer risk 3,000% and your heart attack stroke rate 2,000%. Causes premature aging from 9 to 17 years, premature death, autoimmune, diabetes, you name it. It's a disaster for the body, health-wise.
It's dangerous. So what do? You're supposed to walk away or just kind of just walk away and don't say anything?
Yeah, that's basically what it is. So what I teach people to do is, and I can give your listeners a technique that works really well and really quick. When we go into this fight or flight response, we can feel it going on in us.
Yeah.
Like we can feel our heart pumping harder, our blood pressure rising. Some people tell me their thoughts turn to mush, their palms get sweaty. So let me ask the listeners, what is it? And this sign doesn't change throughout life. It's like whatever it is, you don't have to reinvent the wheel because it's that way throughout your life. That's your body's response that you're perceiving. So when I get upset, my stomach gets knotted in a certain way. Let me ask you, Yolanda, what might it be with you when you get upset? What's the physical sign going on inside of you that your whole body is rerouting?
It seems like I'm burning up.
Yes, because temperature, what happens is you have this huge blood flow. Arteries expand up to 1,200%. That's a lot. So you have this blood gushing through your whole body. Now, by the way, this happens in 1/1,000,000th of a second, so this is quick stuff. So that's a sign that you're about to go into this conflict-seeking alien mode. So I suggest is when you feel this rising in you, get away before you say something, not after. Because afterwards, then you have regrets and guilt, and you got to make it up. And sometimes we say stuff that 20 years later the person doesn't forget.
That's right.
That's right. You're like, I want a divorce, or I hate you. And you don't mean it. It's just at the heat of the moment. And now it's out there. And the other party's like, they said they hated me 10 years ago. I can't believe that. I'm living with a man who says he hates me. Who hates me? And they're like, no, I was just upset. Too late. It's out there. So I suggest get away, get calmer. Now, how do you get calmer? Well, exercise is good because these chemicals were made for fight or flight. They're made for movement. The worst thing you want to do when you're under stress is just sit there and watch TV. You want to physically move, even going for a walk. That's why you feel all jittery. Your body is ready for fighting or fleeing. It's made for movement. You want to calm it, listen to calming music, put on a comedy, talk to somebody who is soothing, soothes you down. One of the things the research shows is when you're upset and doing bad in a relationship, you do not want to get on Facebook because what happens when you get on Facebook? You got all these people. They're going on vacation. They're happy. They're kissing. And here you are, sitting in your room depressed because you just had this big, argument with your loved one. So research shows it makes people more depressed, not less depressed. So there's a whole list of things. Meditate. If you're whatever form of spirituality you practice, that's a great time to do it. Read a Bible. Do some meditation. If you're into yoga, put on a calming tape, put on some comedy, any of those things that will calm you down. Now, when you're calmer, and people will tell me, I can think clearly, I feel relaxed. How can you tell, for instance, Yolanda, when you're calmer, when you're past the upset and you're calmer?
When I just don't, I just feel normal and I feel at peace with myself.
There you go. So I would say that's the time to get back around the person and then talk to them about the issue. Now, one of the things I've noticed, and you may have noticed this too, is that when we get calmer, a lot of the time, there's not even an issue. I'm like, gosh, I was thinking of
it's not as bad as you thought it was when you were angry. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was going to go to war because they didn't park the car in the right place. You know, and it's like, what does it matter? So if you've already put it out there, then we got a problem. All right, so let me give you an example of how this works, okay?
Okay.
So I've got this white piece of paper in front of me, so imagine this, right? I'm looking at this white piece of paper, and I'm upset. So I'm going to put on these blue glasses, right? These dark blue glasses, which represent my reptilian crocodile brain. Dark, weak, paranoid, suspicious, untrusting, provocative, okay? So now I'm looking at this paper, and you're seeing things through your front brain. You're calm, and you're seeing these things clearly. So I say to you, Yolanda, what's the problem here? I asked you to get some copy of paper. I'm on a deadline. You came back with blue paper. Now, what good is this blue paper to me? What do you say back?
I need it for my deadline.
And you say something like, I don't see blue, that's white. That paper's white, correct? And I say, remember, I got blue glasses on. You're seeing it realistically. I'm seeing it very warped through these lenses. I say, what do you mean this is blue? What do you mean this is white? It's blue. What are you, stupid or a fool? Which one is it? Well, let's say now you start getting upset, okay? He's calling me names. So now I'm going to give you green glasses to put this on, okay? Now you put on green glasses, and now we're going to talk about this white piece of paper. And I say, so you tell me one last time, is this really white? Are you going to stick by that story? What do you say back?
I say it is green paper.
Green, right? It's green. I'm like, green? First it was white, now it's green? You don't know what the heck's going on. That's something stupid like your mother would say, now there's an idiot. So now we're talking about your mother who died 10 years ago, has nothing to do with anything.
And that makes you angry, more angry.
Yeah. How many times do you get into an argument and you get off on these side topics that are 5 years old, have nothing to do with anything, and we're still talking about the paper here. What does this have to do with the color of the paper? And so now we calm down. We take off these lenses, blood reroutes to our thinking front brain, cerebral cortex, and we get calmer. And now we look at this paper, and I look at this paper, and I say, oh, it's white. Not blue. I feel so ashamed. And now we have the guilt, the shame. Now we have the makeup period. You see what happens to communication when we get upset? We have this, we're the alien that takes over us, this different part of the brain which affects our perception changes, our moods, our attitudes, our thoughts. We are convinced that we're seeing it accurately, but research shows when we get upset, they took two groups of people, and they tested them under stress and before stress, and what they found out was under stress, their memory of the event was very jaded, was very poor. So when we get upset, we mishear, we misremember, and so what happens is we're trying to argue like we're speaking the truth. We're right, when actually our perception is real warped. And then when we try to recollect it back, no, you're not telling the truth. It really happened this way. No, that's not the way it happened. Well, they're both wrong, because if they were both upset, their memories are full of holes. That's what the research shows. So what I've learned is I teach people, I call my approach untalk, because I teach people how not to talk when they're upset. And then I call it untherapy, because I teach them how to do just what we do. Here's the triggers that kick on. This is the events that set in motion when you get upset. And so here's the skills to identify how to fix these issues in your future life. So I teach them the skill on how to do that, so they don't have to keep coming back to me as a therapy. I teach them how to be their own therapist and heal their relationships. to get them to turn that direction out of the dead zone where they start climbing back up and there's love and caring and communication again, and we're getting closer and we can understand each other. So that's basically what it is.
Well, what do you do if it takes you several weeks to get to calm down?
Excuse me?
What do you do if it takes you several weeks or longer time? I mean, it's not something that you're going to calm down within an hour.
Well, that's something people have to work on, because one of the things we left out was called once the fight-or-flight response kicks in, there's a series of changes that happen within 1 millionth of a second. We talked about a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Physiologically, we change.
Mm-hmm.
Our viewing lens changes. It changes our relationship. The other thing that changes is our brain. It's called neuroplasticity. Have you ever heard of that term, neuroplasticity?
No.
It's the latest brain science which says we now know neuroplasticity. The brain is fluid. It's malleable. It's like plastic. It changes.
Mm-hmm.
We now know that the brain, we used to think the brain stopped growing after a certain age, like 18 or 21. Mm-hmm. Now we know it grows throughout our life.
Mm.
So it adapts like a muscle. If you use it, it grows. If you don't use it, it shrinks. So what happens when we're in these chronic angry modes, our reptilian brain expands out like a muscle. It becomes like the Terminator, full of these huge, it gets huge. And our front brain, it only takes 4 days, starts shrinking down. So over time, our brain gets lopsided, and our reptilian brain becomes our default setting, which means we're always reading negative thoughts into the other party. That we're always reading negative intentions into them. Our thoughts are preoccupied with what's wrong with them. Our focus becomes intensely focused on their irresponsibilities, and we avoid our own. So what happens is, if it takes somebody a few weeks to get over it, what that tells me is that their reptilian brain has become their dominant force in their brain. And so what they have to do basically is start rewiring their brain. That's not complicated. Basically, you have to start rerouting the blood from the back of your brain to the front brain, which means start draining off these toxic chemicals and thoughts. You know, if you have a tough time forgiving and holding grudges, one of the things that works really well is write down 3 to 5 things that, even though you're upset and you're going to have to force yourself to do this, write down 3 or 5 things, or 1 or 2 that is good about the other party. Well, they did change that diaper one time when I needed them. You know, they did make me that meal. They were there when I was sick. Whatever it is. And when you start doing that, you start forcing the blood to go from your back brain to your front brain. And what happens over time is you start dropping these grudges and spiteful acts and resentments. And now it goes from 2 weeks to 10 days to 3 days to a couple of hours. And the other thing we know about the science says about holding grudges and resentments is the body, every cell in our body, is called epigenetics, listens to our brain. And every cell in our body can switch on up to 28 chromosomes. They switch on and off, and that's how we adapt to our environment. Well, every cell in our body is listening to our brain, and when the brain has negative thoughts, resentments, grudges, dark, bleak, preoccupation, cynicism, it's switching on inflammatory chromosomes. And inflammation is the source of all disease. Alzheimer's, diabetes, they're even seeing weight gain and depression due to inflammation of the body. So what we're doing is our body is on constant alert and releasing these toxic chemicals, adrenaline, cortisol. All of these chemicals are getting released on a constant level, and basically we're cooking our insides. That's why chronic stress leads to premature aging from 9 to 17 years, premature death, autoimmune diseases, hypertension, heart disease, cancers, because the body is releasing these chemicals. So when we hold grudges and we think we're spiting the other person and getting even with them, we're actually killing our own body. We're making ourselves sick. Not only are we killing the love in our relationship and our personal peace, but we're also destroying our health.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? We got to get you back on here. This was such all educational moments, and you have so much to say. How can someone get in contact with you?
Okay. Well, I have a site, Let's Talk More Love, and if people want to go to that site, there's a quiz. How close are you to the dead zone? Mm-hmm. Take the quiz, and I have a webinar a free webinar in which I am going to explain this concept. It's going to be about a 45-minute concept. It's going to have a lot of graphics. I'm going to explain this stuff in details. Okay. So sign up for that.
Okay. And we only have a few more minutes. Okay. We don't have any more time, so you have to. We'll give you some more information on our next show. But thank you for being on this week's program of All in Our Family. I'll see you next week. Love you.